to do healthcare through what your program, and the way he was describing it was, yes, of course he had a bias to engineering, but he was also just kind of like, I could tell he was just trying to make sure that I was making an informed decision that I wasn't just rashly being like, well, screw engineering, I'm going to medicine, like one of those. And I was like, yeah. And then she asked me after, she's like, well, am I more supportive than him? And I kind of obviously I wasn't just like, no, but, for me,
it was a trick question.
It was an opportunity. Oh, I know it was. I know. But I had to get it off my chest, and I was like, well, he was advocating engineering and he was trying to make sure I was making an informed decision. Whereas, cause it's different between you two. And then sometimes with you, it just seems like you really don't want me to do medicine. And she kind of got a little bit mad at me or whatever. And I knew it was probably going to happen, but I felt a lot better after, even though she was mad at me, that I had taken the opportunity to say that, because that was one thing that had been really bothering me, that it felt like she wasn't supportive, that she wasn't willing to be on board with my plan of, yeah, this is really, really what I want to do,
Okay. So I'm going to tell you something a bit personal or whatever. So I told a girl I didn't want to be in the same geographic location as her without her getting mad.
That's impressive.
She teared up a little and understood and gave me a hug. Well, actually, there was a tiny phase of anger, but I put the kibosh on that.
Diffused, yes.
Yeah. Well, really, I was like, look, if your response is anger, then we have absolutely nothing more to talk about. I'm expressing my heart, and your response is this. You have nothing cooperative to put forth. We're in a relationship. Do you want to cooperate with what I've shared with you? This is my heart on a platter. You think I just did this to be an asshole? I thought about this a long time, man.
Yeah.
That was my number one thing when I woke up today. Let me not be anywhere near you. I've done everything. I'm going to just express my feelings.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I said that, it was like, oh, crap. Anger is not appropriate here. It's not helping anybody. I'm going to stop. And she did. And then we parted ways in a really beautiful way. So if you were to approach her, I'll tell you something what I would do, which would be something like, Tegan, I've been thinking a lot about us and about you. I love thinking about you, and I'm sure that your goals and your desires are important to you. I'm sure that you want things and that they're important to you. And so you see, I'm starting out immediately by putting all the focus on her and her life and her hopes and dreams and goals. When you focus on someone's hopes and dreams and goals, it's hard to be angry. Fuck you! Who
I don't have dreams. Who do you think you are?
Who could be angry if you spoke like that, right?
Yeah.
And then it's so I know you understand me when I say that I have hopes, dreams, and goals and desires as well. She's gonna have to say yes. There's no other response that would come out. You just finished saying I know yours are important. She's like, yeah, totally. And you're and I also am the same. We are the same. Mine are important too.
Yeah.
And she's gonna say yes. There's no anger here. and then you're like, right. And some of my goals and desires are calling me to prioritize them or to give them certain chunks of time. They're calling me for a life change. I have to change my schedule and change some things that I do. That's what I need to reach mine. And you have changes you need to make to reach yours too. I'm sure. Like, whatever, I don't know what she wants, but something, like, it's gonna require some kind of change. Maybe you have to move to another, out of your house or something, like something, right? Like,
yeah.
One day I want to be married and have kids. Well, you probably have to leave your parents' home for that. Like,
Yeah.
one day that will be the change. Well, one day, the day has come. I have to make some changes too. I don't think they're bad changes. I feel really good about them. I feel like it's going to work out. At the same time, I just want you to understand and be clear on what they are. Hopefully you can support them. And now it's the ball's in her court. But there's no anger. There's no opportunity for anger there. I mean, if they want to get angry, if someone wants to get angry, fine. But then you can set them straight. Like, you know what kind of person they are. That's clear. Like, I put my heart on a platter. You choose. This is how you choose. I thought we were closer than this, and I thought you could access, you know, something more supportive. But if that's what you got, fine. I'll see you later. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just how I would approach it. And you have your own approach. You're not me. But probably there was something valuable in there.
Yeah. No, I agree. And
Like something that could help.
yeah, no, like I agree, and I know that needs to be said. Yeah, I mean, like, some of that has already kind of been covered, and so bringing it up again would probably be like, well, what the hell are you talking about? We already talked about this. Like, we don't need to go over this again, you know? So, I don't know. Obviously, some tweaking here and there.
Although, it's interesting because if it doesn't need to be gone over again, like, words are one thing, but actions are another. Like, why is she getting angry and upset if you have to schedule some time? Or, like, you know, why aren't you happy to reunite after a break? If you got what I said before.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Like, to me, if something's been gone over and understood, then things go smooth after that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, you have to cooperate with your team to score the goal or whatever. And it's like, oh, yeah, I get it. And then the guy goes and, like, showboats and steals the ball from his own teammates and doesn't help. And it's like, so then you go and approach him again about it, and he's like, oh, we already been over that, man. And you're like,
yeah, not so much.
right, we did talk about it, and yet things are not smooth. So I feel like
you're not understanding.
some disconnect. So
Yeah.
I thought maybe I'd give it another shot. But if you're never going to understand, well, I'll just drop it too.
Yeah.
And we won't play on the same team anymore.
All right, peace out.
So yeah, it's cool if you talk about it, and you know whether or not it's hit its mark. But you also know if it's not, doesn't seem to be understood. Well, it's up to you if you want to repeat it, go over it again, or drop it.
Yeah.
I've gone over things like hundreds of times, and still they haven't understood. And I was dumb enough to go for 101.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend it. You know, if you try once, twice, people aren't getting it, let them find out on their own in their own way. It's not up to you.
Yeah.
Although you could try my way, my old way, 100 times. Did you get me? No? Let me try it again. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, I know you're on the right path. I can tell you know what's going on. I feel like you have all the tools and all the resources necessary to rock this. And you're awesome, and I believe in you, man. And I'd love to hear how it goes. I'd love to hear how the homework goes, and the med school goes, and team goes, and how all of it goes. Like just keep me posted.
Will do.
So, who
Maybe.
knows?
We'll see. If the slow part, which, I mean, there never is, but for some reason that happens.
We don't do slow.
No, never. My room's messy.